Hey guys, welcome to the channel. I'm Andy, before you call contractor. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. Today I'm going to be talking about something that a lot of you probably don't really think about, and that's can you change a tire on your vehicle if you break down somewhere? This when I was growing up was quite common because tires weren't as reliable and people were always getting flats. But these days, tires are much more reliable and it doesn't seem to happen. But if you travel a lot, you will see people on the side of the road changing a tire. And it's something one of those things that you kind of need to know before it happens, or at least have a plan before it happens. Like, I'll give you an instance. A couple of years ago, my wife and I were traveling down to Florida for vacation, and we were going to go fishing. Going to go to St. George Island. We're towing our boat. We're going from Georgia down into Florida, and we run into this area where it says "Welcome to Tate's Hell." I'd never heard of Tate's Hell. You can look up the story and why it's called that. It's kind of an interesting story. But anyway, we're driving through and following the GPS on the phone, and all of a sudden, I notice my GPS is not updating anymore. I look at the phone and I have 0 bars. And my wife, she has a different service than I do. I say, hey, do you have any cell service? She's like, absolutely not. Luckily, there's not a lot of turns through this. In fact, I don't even know if there are any turns. It might have been a straight drive straight through. So we didn't lose our direction, but we didn't get cell service back until we were pretty much out of Tate's Hell, which was about 20 to 25 miles. And I bring that up because if you get a flat tire in an area like that, by the way, there are no houses. It's a Florida wildlife reserve. There's no stores and there's very little traffic. I don't even remember passing very many other cars. That was in October, so maybe during the summertime you might pass other cars. Long story short, had we gotten a flat in Tate's Hell, we can't call roadside assistance, and and even though we have roadside assistance, we wouldn't be able to call. We have to be able to change the tire ourselves. Now, it's not crazy complicated, and you don't need to know everything before it happens. But I'll tell you what you do need to know. You need to know where you're supposed to jack on your vehicle. Every vehicle is a little bit different. So, like on my Ram truck, you jack it up underneath the the control arm on the front and the same thing in the rear. A lot of vehicles, you're going to do jacking right here. The way you figure that out, look in your owner's manual. Your owner's manual will tell you where to jack. Um, Something else I want to bring up about the whole cell service thing. I have a 2024 Ram. You know what it came with for an owner's manual? Digital glove box. If, for instance, you break down and you don't have your an owner's manual and you have a digital glove box, no cell service, guess what? No digital glove box. So those are the things you need to know before you break down. Something else, depending on the vehicle you drive. My wife had a Hyundai Veloster. First time we got a flat tire in that, I opened up the back hatch, opened up the floor thing, guess what? No tire. Didn't come with one. Yeah, so no spare tire. I was screwed. So don't be dumb like me. Check your car, make sure you have a spare tire. Um, at the Hyundai Veloster, we actually got a Ford EcoSport. I thought, oh, it's a little SUV. I decided to check it. Guess what? No spare tire. Gonna come with a little pump and fix a flat. I promise you, if you could break down, come for a flat while you're driving down the highway, and it didn't go flat slowly, it went flat right away, fix a flat isn't going to fix anything. So it's very, very basic. I'm not even going to walk you through all the steps to do it. I'm going to tell you what you got to do. First off, make sure your car is in park. You got a standard transmission. Make sure it's in gear and not running. Okay. Set your parking brake. If you need to change your left front tire, you need to chock your right rear tire. Chock it with whatever you can. Okay. I mean, I'm at the house here, so I'm going to throw some regular plastic chocks that I have. But I don't even travel with those. A stick, a rock, something. You need something in front and back of that tire. Also, highly recommend you don't try changing a tire with people in the car because just them shifting around in the car can cause it to fall over. Okay. And most cars these days come with what's a scissor jack. Actually, hang on, I'll show you what that looks like. All right, so this is a scissor jack. This thing cranks and it lifts. They're pretty lightweight, but they can lift a lot of weight. The problem is they're a little unstable. That's why you don't want anybody in the vehicle when you're doing this. Um, so prepare. If it's summertime, you're traveling, make sure you got sunblock, make sure you've got water, do all the basic stuff you need to do and plan for the breakdown. Okay. I always try to plan for breakdowns these days because you just never know what's going to happen. Okay. So now you know kind of again, check your owner's manual if you have one. If you got a digital glove box like I have, when you have cell service, go in there and find out where you're supposed to jack your vehicle from. Okay. So we're in park. We got a parking brake set. We got a wheel chock. Now, before you lift the car, you need to loosen up the lug nuts on the tire you're loosening them. Don't loosen them up all the way. One turn. Reason being is once you lift that tire off the ground, you try to turn those lug nuts, and they're not. The tire's just going to keep spinning on you. You won't be able to get them off. Okay, so once the lug nuts are loose, jack the vehicle up, and then take it off. Put your spare tire on. Put your lug nuts back on. Get them snug. And you should also, if you don't know this, when you're doing tighten up lug nuts, you start at the top, then go to the bottom, then go to the top right, then go to the bottom left. You want to rotate that way you don't get your wheel on lopsided. It's really that easy. So after you let your tire back down on the ground, be sure to go around and tighten all those lug nuts up. Kind of like getting the lug nuts off while the tire's in the air. While the tire's in the air, you won't be able to get the lug nuts tight. So make sure you do that. All right. Thanks. With no way of changing your tire. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you found it useful. Also want to thank all of our veterans out there, all of our active duty military first responders. Guys, have a great day. Thank you.